Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 with Laurent. And today it's going to be a bit special because we have somebody from behind the camera who's going to ask you a question. He's very curious. The producer for today is Nazrin. Nazrin, go ahead.
All right, so Laurent, I have a question for you. In Singapore, we have a system where education is like being laid out, primary school, secondary school, and most of us stick by it. We'll just stick by that system. We are kind of afraid to go out. And then listening to you in your first part of the episode, it sounds easy for you to move around. So I understand you have 2 kids. How do you maneuver your kids' education from place to place? And then how is there any repercussion or negative side of you moving around? Will that affect their mental, your education, their academics? So I'm curious to hear from you. So please.
So coming to kids, there is 2 stages: before they are adolescent, before they reach 11, 12, and after. So let's speak about before. Traveling opens their minds. Seeing different systems increase the ability in the brain to see things differently and to learn.
Okay.
Because they are learning. When you have a kid you're already multilingual inside Singapore because you have at least 2 languages. Which is not the case in France, where we usually other countries in Europe where you have 1 language normally only, which is your. But traveling is only good. It only opens the minds. Okay, so you shouldn't feel kids cannot be an excuse not to travel, because you'll make it good for your kids to experience different things. They can always go back to the Singapore system, come back when they are 12, 13, 11, etc. And don't worry, if they're a bit late on something, they'll catch up, because the brain is so used to learning different things, different environments. The richness is seeing different environments, living in different environments. Our kids, they were born in Hungary. So my eldest kids were at the Hungarian sort of kindergarten. When he was 2 years old, he spoke Hungarian. Okay. He spoke Hungarian but he forgot. When 1 year after we left, we went back. Then went to China. Then they learned Chinese because we had an IE at home speaking only Chinese.
So they can speak Mandarin.
Because they forgot, because before a kid remembers the language until after 10 years old. Things learned before, if you don't practice them, they go away. So they don't remember when they're bilingual French-English, because the mother is Australian and I'm French. But one time, my second kid was living in China in the airport. He was 2 years old, going around the chairs and counting the chairs. Before taking the plane, going back to Europe, and he was counting in French, counting in English, counting in Chinese. Because people would say, he speaks, so he liked it, to be like little king, the king kids in China. It's like. But so now it's really at the contrary. Don't be afraid. Okay, your kids until they are especially very young, change them school systems. You all learn the same thing. What do you learn at school? To write, to read, to count, to draw, and mathematics is the same around the world. I know your system is very good here, but they can catch up. Worst, they lose 1 year when they come back. But what is it in the life 1 year? Nothing.
Right.
So don't be afraid to move because of kids. In the beginning, the most important for kids is a family. So they really stick around, the family is core. And very often I said, when I met some friends, I said, in our life, we change countries a lot with a family. Just taking the plane with suitcase, settling somewhere, renting an apartment, arriving, settling. Okay, but the family was the core. The rest was just all moving. But we kept the family. We're still together today. A lot of friends divorced in the same time. They stayed in France because they never changed anything in their life. At the end, they changed the family because they were bored or because whatever reason. But at the end, you're more likely to change your family, meaning spouse. Then if you stay always the same place. So anyway, but that's again only concept, my experience. Only my experience, and I'm not the standard.
Of course.
Like a French guy. Don't. So.
Okay. I mean that's an interesting concept because change is constant, right? So we always need to. I think a lot of people are afraid of change but they don't realize that actually every day is changing. Even if they are not changing, the economy is changing, market is changing, everything is changing. And I don't know. I somewhat agree with what you say, I guess. Like, I think if you are too, like, your core is basically the same, but then everything else change, I think you are in a safer space as compared to your environment is pretty much the same. Your core tends to be much more shaky. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of agree about that. What do you think, Hanafi?
I live by the rule. I live by the rule that I want to be. No, I don't want to be the product of my environment, but I want my environment to be the product of me. So I make the change. So, yeah.
Okay. I don't know whether this is maybe also an entrepreneurial thing.
Yeah, but the thing is exactly the same in a company. Everything is changing always.
Yeah.
Look what's happening right now with the breakdown of the global economics thanks to Trump.
Exactly.
Okay, the things are changing. Companies were doing things, suddenly they need to rethink everything. Because something happened somewhere in the world. And when you are an entrepreneur, every day you have things changing, more or less important. You need to reassess. How do I react in front of this?
Yeah. You have to be nimble as well, right?
If you do product and software, that specifically, a new competitor is here with a different approach, a new technology appears which makes easier what was complex before. So you spend your life having not a truth, something true today, something valid today may not be valid tomorrow, or may be valid for 2 years, or maybe 2 months. You don't know. So you spend your life changing with something changing around you. You need to adapt. So I think learning to have change and around you is very powerful when you are young, because it will teach you how to cope with change. Specifically, if you are an entrepreneur, you cannot be afraid of changing environment. If you're an entrepreneur, it doesn't work. Then you're super stressed. Then you need a psychologist immediately.
That's true.
Before we talk more about Wheezy Vision and Comms 360, right? Can I know, like, throughout your entrepreneurial journey, what was the hardest moment in? What was perhaps the rock bottom that you have ever faced, and how do you overcome it?
Right, that's a difficult question because you have plenty of low moments and plenty of high, and you prefer to remember the high than the low. That's why nobody knows the low.
I know, I totally understand that.
Not the low. No, but it's like certainly moments where you risk losing everything because financial stress. More often because of financial stress. You're not making the cut. You're not going to make the end of the year. You need to find X amount of money before the end of the year. Okay, and you don't have it. Okay, so maybe you do. I've done some things to find money, which were, I did a loan to the bank, with fake documents in France 10 years ago.
Okay,
or fake documents about my salary, fake salary slips. Because if not, a company, or 15 years ago, if not, I needed like $100,000, something like this. To if not, I would get bankrupt basically in my previous company, not this one, another one before. And in France, and I couldn't find it. So I went to the bank, I'm going to borrow money. I asked my mom, can you give me your guarantee on this loan? I need to ask my mom at 45 years old. Can you imagine? You go back and ask. And I did some fake payslips. At that time you could do, now you cannot anymore because everything is computerized. At that time you could. I find a way, but I paid back the money, and so the thing is, low moment is when you really are, you need to take decisions. And sometimes you take decisions which you wouldn't like to take. Okay. Other time is when you need to fire. When you are like this, also you need to fire people. And when you need to fire people, when you grow a company, you employ, and suddenly you need to fire people. That's really difficult. Suddenly to say, how do I? Because you sell the moon when you're entrepreneur to your staff. You're going to create something, because you believe yourself. So you suddenly say, "Oh, guys, no, we are stuck in the middle. You need to get off the plane." And explain them why. And the first time you do this, maybe that's the most difficult. The first time you have to fire somebody, where not because he's not good, but because you cannot pay him. Okay, and explain him, that the story you told him doesn't work like it was supposed to work. That's maybe the most difficult.
Okay. I think because both of us kind of can resonate with this. That's why we don't have much
We're
comments.
still processing the whole message.
We totally understand what you said, but sometimes it's also difficult to articulate to our audience that you have to go through this phase.
This is something that you have to go through the motion, then you will realize how difficult it is to let go of someone that you initially have in your team. You believe in him, and you kind of like have that mutual understanding because he believes in you too. That's why he applied in your job and so on. And then now you're telling him like, hey, you gotta go, bro. So it's a tough conversation to have.
Okay. So back to Wheezy Vision. Just now at the first part, you actually mentioned a bit about Wheezy Vision. Perhaps can you start with what inspired you to actually start Wheezy Vision?
What inspires me is seeing that the IT revolution, basically, which happened since 20, 30 years, for enterprise, speaking about enterprise now, basically, we forgot half the workforce in it. We forgot the frontline workers, the people working.
That's
so
true.
we did some stuff, but basically, people get very advanced on computers, programs, or office workers, or people working with their brain. And the guys on the front, no, we don't have budget for them. So this changed a bit when mobile phone arrived, because when mobile phone enabled them to have like a tool pretty cheap to buy compared to before. You can buy a PC, which was super expensive. Or an iPad, super expensive. So when Android mobile phone were really like, widely adopted, then said, okay, there is a way now to help to digitize the guys and help them on the front line to give them more information available on the fingertip, and everybody knows how to use the phone. That's 10 years only. 2006 is iPhone arrival. By the time Android it was a bit every phone everywhere, 2015, it's 10 years ago. So that's what he thought, okay, these guys, they use phone on day-to-day life. They do pictures, they do videos, but they could use it at their work. But nobody really cares about this. So we should develop a platform enabling the enterprise to to digitize the work of the frontline teams. Okay, so that was my big idea, which inspired me, and say, and we can do it. Okay, we can do it because of the technology in the phone are here. The price is low. Everybody knows how to use the phone. So let's not do enterprise application super complex that people need to be trained to use, like the mobile app of SAP or whatever. Let's do application that are pretty similar to what they do on a WhatsApp or Messenger or where they can use it without training. And then the enterprise. So that's the front end worker side, which inspired me. But then on the other side, what's important today in enterprise? The data. Data is important. Data gives you information how to be the best in your company, how to beat your competition. And to get data, it's collected on the front line. For businesses who have frontline workers. I'm not speaking about banking or insurance and so you need to collect it. And a lot of data is not collected because people don't have the tools to collect, and they could collect it, or they could keep it. So that's how we sell the product today to the enterprise. We say, guys, even if you, specifically in the region here, not in Singapore, but in Malaysia, Indonesia, salary is still pretty cheap. So I don't really care if the guy takes a bit more time to do his job because he's not, because anyway, salary is cheap. Okay, I say, but you don't collect the data. So you need to have the data to improve your operational excellence. So that's how we sell to the enterprise, telling equip your frontline team with agile mobile app solutions to collect information or to work in order for you to have better data, more efficient people, but much better data, which you can work with to improve your operational excellence.
It's really interesting because the first time when I came across your app, it is also because of Kelvin with Comms360, right? And their main clientele are actually the oil and gas industry, the marine industry. So he explained to me that we need to take different parts of the what is this called, like or perhaps different equipments and different machines, the serial code for them after they do every test or before they actually do a diagnostic test, because only by getting the ID and also the model number, that is the best way for them to later on find out how to actually resolve the issue. So I totally see that side of the industry. When you keep on mentioning about frontline, because previously I was a nurse, so I'm thinking about healthcare. Like while in first world countries like Singapore, we have devices that automatically upload everything to the cloud. Whenever they do the parameter taking of the patient. Singapore or perhaps our big healthcare organizations, they can afford this. But if we were to talk about Indonesia, Malaysia, and even like the other time I remember I went to Maldives and their hospitals are very small. They are still doing everything manual. To me, it's like a lot of time wasted when that time can actually be used for something better and beneficial for the patient. Like, have you guys actually explored, or are you guys already in the healthcare sector in terms of this?
No, we're not in the healthcare for one simple reason. It's a very regulated industry in our countries, okay? And it's more expensive to go in, basically. So because you need to have certification with your software, a certain type of certification. And if you want to succeed in a software company, you need to focus on certain verticals, in certain industry, if you want. And it happens that for many different reasons. I knew people in transport logistics. A big customer is a company in France called Geopost, which does 15 billion euro revenue a year. So pretty big company, So it's in transport logistics. It's like FedEx, DHL, same type of company. And then we had customers in retail, and these are less regulated, incorrectly. Should be less regulated because health should be more regulated. So for us as entrepreneur, I prefer to go in. We decided to go in certain sector like oil and gas. Transport logistics, retail, a bit manufacturing, but even this is like they have more cameras than mobile phone on the manufacturing plants, So it's more where people go out and do things out. So yes, it would be very. The use case would be totally good, and I keep it as an idea for the future. Thank you, by the way. But today, we make a focus on the sector.
What about F&B? F&B manufacturing, perhaps, because I think in terms of tracking every single ingredient from the exact source, that will be the ideal way, right?
Yes. The thing is, we have thousands of potential use cases with our application. But you can only make money with the software if you sell a solution that people want to buy. You very define. So we cannot go everywhere. We have to start with verticals. And in fact, we made a bit this mistake in the beginning. We thought it's usable by anybody.
A common mistake entrepreneurs make. Right?
Exactly. We went too large, and we said, okay, let's stop. Let's focus on some verticals.
I think maybe our listeners roughly understand how WheezyVision works, but let me ask the most cliche question. Why WheezyVision? What is the inspiration behind the name WheezyVision?
So Wheezy is a small wizard, a small magician. Then, if you need to find a name and a website which is available, good luck today in forward. So we found some more or less Wheezy.io. We didn't have Wheezy.com, so we started like this Wheezy. Okay, but then we say let's decline the name with a product. So we have two products. One, an MDM to manage mobile devices, a product called a Wheezy EMM, which created 10 years ago in the beginning, and already for frontline teams. And we have customers like the Shanghai Airport is using Wheezy EMM for some of their external stuff. We have some customers already in Singapore, and that's how we started to work with Comms360 like 10 years ago already. Okay. And then WheezyVision is about vision. About vision, capturing information through vision and speech. So we decided to call it WheezyVision. But again, naming is something which is for me the trickiest thing. You know, because it doesn't make the success of the company, but it can make a failure if you choose the wrong name.
Okay.
So it's the most difficult thing for me. It's the hardest thing. All the rest I can, I'm comfortable with, but choosing names is really something which,
Okay. I mean, like, nobody understands what Uber is, right? But somehow it works, and I guess people make it work.
Yeah.
So I think, like, in terms of worrying about the name itself, I'm not too sure whether that is a big issue.
Yeah, I mean, like when Uber came out, or even before Uber came out, we used the word Uber like for super, like, oh, it's Uber cool, and that kind of stuff, right? And then suddenly there's
look, Hyundai, they succeed around the world with an unpronounceable name. I remember they had advertising in France how to pronounce the name, with so it's you can have a success with a very strange name because your product is good.
Yeah.
And you can fail with a great name because your product is shit.
Yeah.
So the thing is, it's important, but it's less for me. Somewhere, it just should fit some things, like be easy to pronounce
and remember,
and be short, whatever. Some things like this. But then after, I think the most important is the product.
The product,
or the service. It's not the name.
Okay. Recently, you guys won the LVMH Innovation Award.
Oh yeah, I saw.
So we are selected. So every year, LVMH selects 18 startups for a program. Okay, which we were finalists in this award. So that's the 18 will get advertising, if you want. And on the 18. There are 4 categories, and a lot of our marketing, and product present are on luxury, We are in a category operational excellence, which is about manufacturing, transportation, logistics, things which are not specific to luxury, which are so there were 4 selected, and we are selected because the head of global operation at LVMH told us why we were selected. It's because he knows that there are plenty of use cases on the manufacturing, delivering, etc., where people know topics but don't have tools to bring back the information. Because they are not equipped mobilely correct with mobile application. They are losing a lot of efficiency. And they needed. It was, and the thing that you could use it without training was, because it's so simple to use and so simple to create, agility to create and change. This was really key for him and for the people who selected us. Okay, and because also you have to understand one thing is that in European countries, for example, a lot of people working in like jobs on the front line don't really speak the local language. Because so they are not fluent in French or in German or etc. Because they're not from these countries. So they are a bit illiterate. Not saying negatively about the people, but. And they never tell if somebody has a difficulty to read or write. They never tell because of course they are not proud of they're not proud of themselves. Of course, so they didn't get the education or they changed countries, so it's not their fault. It's just that so they're going to say, oh, I didn't have time to use the application, or so they're going to find an excuse. Okay, so we deliver with the logic of easy to use. But they can all speak the language. Before writing, speaking is easier than writing. So you speak, you can speak, and then it writes. Okay. So speech to text or image or things. So that was the reason why he found our approach very innovating, and being able to improve the operational excellence in their supply chain and in their manufacturing.
Okay. I mean, when I was told that you guys got the LVMH award. My first thought was, isn't LVMH like mainly fashion houses? Fashion, But when you explain it this way, I think it makes a lot of sense because your use case is also very beneficial for all the companies under LVMH. Because they have 85 brands, 85. They call it maison, not because it's luxury. Maison, but it's companies, if you want, and brands. And most of them do their own manufacturing. So if you buy Guerlain, for example, Guerlain lipsticks, they produce by Guerlain. Guerlain has 2 factories. This one in France, one doing all the lipstick and cream, and the other one doing the perfume. So I was in one of these factories. It's already pretty automated, but there's some things which are not yet, digitized where we could bring value.
So I'm not. It's like confidential. I'm not going to go into details.
Of
but
course.
but but they do all the manufacturing. You see only the trendy of the sales thing, but they do the manufacturing. So
I see. Okay.
I mean, congratulations for the Innovation Award by LVMH.
thank you.
Before we end of the show, there's one more thing I want to ask you, because the one who introduced me to you was Kelvin from Comms360. Can you share with us a little bit of the relationship you guys have, and also how exactly is Comms360 and WeezyVision actually working together? Are there any vested interests or anything like that?
Okay, so first I'll speak on a personal before speaking professional.
Sure.
One thing I've learned in my life, when I really need to trust people. Okay, and trust goes across countries, race, whatever you want. One thing I've seen in my life traveling many countries, there's the same number of idiots are all around the world and nice people around the world, whatever the race and the language. Okay, so that's the thing. So just a little, but it's interesting. It's like you can get really trusted relationship the same way across the language, across the countries, across the races around the world. So I have decided that because we are small business, we're not a multinational. I can still keep a human touch in a business. Meaning I want to work with people I trust and who trust us. Okay. So we started to work with Kelvin when we had the first product with EMM 10 years ago. Introduced. So we worked like 5 years on the 6 years with this product. Everything went fine. You discover trust when you do business on 6 years.
Yeah.
And then my son worked also here in Singapore for 2 years for the company. He met Kelvin. They had personal interaction also. And so when it was time, to go further in terms of WeezyVision go-to-market in Southeast Asia, I said I need to find a partner. I'm not going to develop my own companies here, basically with my own team. I don't have the means to do it first, and I think should be done locally. Okay. So we spoke with Kelvin. And I said, are you interested, move forward with WeezyVision? But that's much bigger than with EMM, in terms of opportunity, of business, and of value of innovation we bring. And it could be a good add-on to also your hardware plus management of hardware plus existing software you already do in oil and gas. And oil and gas is a strategic thing for us for WeezyVision.
Yeah.
And he said, yes, let's go. So we went into a partnership for the region.
Okay.
So basically, which means that we have a subsidiary in Singapore, which is a distribution for Southeast Asia, called Wheezy Asia. Basically. Wheezy JPAC, it's called. And Comms360 has some investment in Wheezy JPAC. Okay, so we're not only linked via distribution. They were really partners in a local distribution. Okay, and because a technical team is in the Philippines, headed by Gino, who is a co-founder.
Gino.
Yeah, Gino Tria is a Filipino guy who is like 40 years old now. I worked with him since I met him when I was living in Singapore here, when I was mentoring startups, and 15 years ago. And then we decided, I asked him, do you want to join in the WeezyVision? He said yes. So we built a team in the Philippines. So also we have basically a regional team, Southeast Asian team.
Yeah.
We have 29 developers in Manila. That's where I go every 3 months there. And then really we work really in a team, because our technical team does the pre-sales with him, assist him, to go in all the region, all Southeast Asia. So for me, it's a double partnership. The one is business, with a business partnership and distribution, on the region. But the second is also is a trusted personal partnership, where basically we trust him, he trusts us, and we work like if we were in the same company.
Awesome. I mean, like when you say about personal first, trusting the person first before you actually look into having that partnership, I think that is really important, because a lot of partnerships we see tend to fall apart because there was no initial trust. So I think what you have with Kelvin, with Comms360, I think that's really amazing. Yeah. Before we end the show, we have two short segments.
Yeah.
One is a rapid fire question and one is a bonus question.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. So, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, rapid fire. First question: Paris, Manila, or San Fran?
Paris.
Paris. Favorite productivity app right now?
Slack.
Slack. Okay. Book that has influenced you the most?
The book which I like the most are not about business.
Okay.
Okay.
Sapiens from Yuval Noah Harari.
Okay.
Okay. I've
Which
never
is-
heard of.
Yeah, it explains the history of humankind. From the Sapiens from Sapiens.
Okay.
So I don't read book about. I'm sorry, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I don't read book about business. I do my own business.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Early mornings or late nights?
I was late nights, but my wife taught me to be early morning.
Okay, biggest risk that you have ever taken that has paid off?
After 2 days, 2 days of meeting my wife, asking her to come and live with me.
Okay, and last question. One word to describe the future of frontline work.
That's a difficult one.
Do you want to allow him to pass?
I don't.
If I were you, that word would be Wheezy Vision.
Yeah.
Wheezy vision. No, I'm thinking too high. I'm not even thinking enough commercial. Thank you for helping me.
Maybe he's thinking beyond.
Yeah, I'm thinking behind Wheezy vision because it's the company.
Understand.
I do a company, but there is a purpose behind this. In life. So we do Wheezy vision, to help frontline workers. But sure, It's.
Okay.
I'm just going to pass you the...
so this is the bonus question. If let's say today you are stripped away of everything, no more assets, nothing, you are only left with $88 in your bank account.
Euros. Maybe for him, euros, France, right?
How would you rebuild back your business or your life?
I will think first, what do I want to do? Where do I take pleasure? What's my passion?
Okay.
I start with passion. Because if you do something fucking difficult, you better be passionate about it.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I start, what's my passion? What do I want to do for the next 10 years?
Yeah.
Because if you restart, it's going to last 10 years at least.
True.
It doesn't last 2 years, usually. So, and I'll turn, I said, is somebody with me behind me?
Okay.
Which is a family.
That is a very good answer because it kind of like reminds me of Brian Tracy's 20 questions method. What can you do that you love that can make money? And then just write 20 answers. Just keep writing as you go, and it's going to get tougher and tougher. And then you find one that you actually really like from the list. Yeah. So
I mean, living without passion is boring. Okay, and I don't. I mean, some people are passionate by default, like me.
Yeah.
And so people are more like not so passionate. But even the not so passionate, at the end, if you get up to do something in the morning you like, 80% of your time, because never 100%. You always do some boring stuff in every job, then you're motivated to do it. So really, it's about what's your passion, and go on something you want to do, and then the sky is the limit in your energy and in what you can reach. And then at the end, maybe you make billions, maybe you make millions, maybe you just make a living, but you'll be happy. True. Because the other thing I've seen also is that maybe my last advice: don't be entrepreneur to be rich. Being rich is a consequence that you can reach being an entrepreneur, that you will never reach being an employee. But that's not the reason why you do it. The reason is to live passion. And of course, because you take risk, it's normal that you get money after.
Yeah.
More or less, it's a logic also. There is a logic. But I'm not being entrepreneur. I'm entrepreneur to live my passion and have freedom. And if you have enough money to have freedom, then you're happy. I think you're happy.
Yeah.
If you have enough money to get you freedom. And then and last thing you need to think, what's enough money for me? Do I need to buy a yacht? Or do I need to buy a house in the middle of France somewhere with a neighbor 1 kilometer away and live in the nature? Then you don't need the same amount of money to be happy. Okay? So, but again, entrepreneurship is not about getting rich. A lot of young people think, I want to get rich, I'm going to be entrepreneur. No, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
I'm going to be entrepreneur because I want to do something. I'm passionate about things. And I have like 30% chance to end up richer than the average of the population, etc., being comfortable financially.
Yeah.
Okay. That's my last advice.
I wanted to summarize the whole episode as usual.
Yeah.
But I think we can just end off there.
Yes. Because it's a powerful ending there.
Yeah. And with that being said, I want to thank the audience for tuning in through the whole episode from part 1 to part 2, and also for Laurent for being here and sharing with us, spreading a lot of entrepreneurial wisdom.
Yes.
And I hope that kind of like helps the audience as well.
Yes.
Right. And that being said, thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me.
See you guys. Bye-bye.